Shio, welcome to Cherokee Kitchen. I'm Robin Callahan, registered dietitian and program director for Cherokee Choices. Cherokee Choices is a chronic disease prevention program for the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians under the Public Health and Human Services Division. Today on our show, we have a very special guest, Mr. Stephen Smith. And Stephen is coming from behind the scenes today to the main spotlight. He is the multimedia specialist for the EBCI's communications team. So thank you, Stephen, for being with us today.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what you'll be baking for us today.
Well, we're just going to kind of do like a low-fat cheesecake. We Valentine's Day coming up. It's always good to have, you know, a little treat to give your significant other, especially if it's homemade. It just, you know, it means more to them. So we're going to do just a low-fat cheesecake, and I know you've altered the recipe just a little bit to make it a bit healthier than regular cheesecake, and so yeah, it should be pretty good.
Great. Cheesecake's absolutely delicious. Unfortunately, it is one of the highest fat, highest calorie desserts that we can choose. So since February is Heart Health Month, we've altered the recipe just a little bit to make it a little bit more heart healthier and easier on our waistline. So Stephen, tell us a little bit about the ingredients we're using today.
Okay. So first off, you're going to be using 4 8-ounce packages of low-fat cream cheese. This is just 1/3 less fat than like your typical Philadelphia cream cheese that you get in the store. We're also going to be using a 1.5 cups of sugar, of just regular granulated sugar, some sour cream, 3 egg whites, 2 whole eggs, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then a teaspoon of lemon zest. And I know you wanted to show how to get that lemon zest if you don't have like a zester or anything like that.
Definitely. So lemon zest is a great way to add some extra flavor with a little bit of shot of vitamin C along with that. So all we're going to do is take our fresh lemon, and if you don't have a lemon zester at home, no worries. What we're going to do today is just do our regular grater, and what we're doing is using the grind and the peel. We'll do a thin layer there. And it's always important as we cut out maybe some sugar, some fat, to add in some ways to add some extra flavor. And then we're just going to chop that up into tiny little chunks. The other thing that you could also do is do just a grater, just like what you would use with cheese. So we need about a teaspoon of this, nice and fine.
As far as you can get it, because it'll all eventually be, you know, mixed in with the rest of the cheesecake and the vanilla and the eggs and everything like that.
Great. And this is a low-fat cheesecake. If you wanted to alter the ingredients to make it a little bit healthier, you could also use the non-fat cream cheese instead of the low-fat cream cheese, and then you could also use the stevia for baking instead of sugar, so it would take it down even more. So here we go. Your lemon zest is all ready.
Thank you, ma'am. So once you've got all your ingredients together, the first thing you're going to want to do is take all 4 of those packages of cream cheese, and you're going to put it in, and you're going to put it with the sugar. So it's about 1.5 cups of sugar, and then what you're going to do, you're going to take your mixer and you're going to mix that for about 5 minutes. I can go ahead and tell you don't want to hand mix this. I tried that. 1, it's rough on the arms, and 2, it just doesn't turn out right. Okay. So make sure you're using an actual mixer. And then once you get that beat about 5 minutes, it should be kind of that kind of consistency. I don't know what you would call that, but
so creamy yet still
stiff,
firm.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So once you've got that, then you're going to take your 3 egg whites, and you're going to just whisk them and beat them. Almost not necessarily to a meringue, but you know, kind of there.
Okay.
And if you want to explain really just how to quickly separate an egg.
Yeah, you can actually buy just egg whites, but it's so easy. You just take a little crack, and then any of the clear part of the egg, you're going to use that, and then the yolk, you can put aside, use for later. You can even do facial beauty mask with it, whatever you want to do. But that yolk does have more saturated fat and cholesterol, and that's why they're cutting that out just a little bit. So
that's what I need to start doing. Take some egg whites.
And there we go. We should have tried that on camera today.
Not today. So once you've got your 1.5 cups of sugar and your cream cheese, then you're just going to take this and you're going to put it in with it, and then you're gonna beat. Oh, this is kind of almost like meringue already. And then you're gonna take your mixer and you're gonna mix this just until it's all like one nice and consistent texture.
Looks delicious, and already just with the egg whites added, it's creamier and smooth.
Yep. So, I mean, once you've got this step, it's important that you get the sugar and the cream cheese first, get that mixed in, and then mix your egg whites in. Once that is done, then everything else just kind of all goes in together at kind of one big lump. The only thing I will say is be careful with the eggs, because you don't want to just throw them in there and then get splatter everywhere. So you might want to separate it up just a little bit to get the eggs in there before you get all the other stuff, and it gets really, really messy.
And a little trick with eggs, especially if you have your own chickens, your own eggs, is always crack that egg in a separate bowl before you crack, just in case that you have a bad egg, it won't ruin the whole recipe. So
then you're just going to take your 2 eggs, and it's not a bad idea to go ahead and throw your vanilla in there just because it's another liquid. And then beat this together, and then we'll beat the rest of it together since it's kind of more clumpy.
Okay.
Easy to mix stuff.
Great.
And like I said, we'll just add the rest and finish mixing it up, and then all you'll do is you'll take your regular graham cracker crust. This is just a 10-inch deep dish that I got at Food Lion. You'll just pour everything in there, and then you'll preheat the oven. While you're doing all this, it's a good idea to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. Then you're gonna leave it in there for 1 hour and 10 minutes. After that, check it. Should be pretty firm, but still jiggly in the middle. And then after that, you're gonna turn your oven off for 20 minutes, but leave the door closed. You don't want any of that heat to escape, and you're gonna let it kind of finish in there. Once you're done with that, then you just take it out of the oven, pop it in the fridge, and it needs to sit for at least 8 hours, so it can stiffen up.
So definitely something to do for your sweetheart the night before, and have it all ready for Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then after this, we have some fun garnishes that we can put on there as well. So we have our flour, light sour cream instead of the regular sour cream, and our lemon zest. And this actually takes the calories down by about 100 calories per serving. So we still have about 229, 230 calories per serving. So not a free food, but definitely cuts the fat in half. Carbohydrate-wise, if you're counting your carbohydrates with pre-diabetes or with diabetes, you only have about 24 grams of carbohydrates per serving. So all right, so our next step is we're gonna mix that together, right? Okay.
Just gonna mix this together, and then we can go ahead and start on the garnishes.
Okay, wonderful.
I'll tell you this, go ahead and get an apron, otherwise you're gonna get it all over you. But that's it, try to get it as smooth as possible. You really want like a smooth cream cheese. And then this right here, I mean, might not be the best strategy, but then you're just gonna kind of take it and pour it into your graham cracker crust.
And one little fun thing when you're pouring is just to have a little bit off to the side. You can put it in a little baggie and make your own piping so you can add some little filled raspberries for either garnish or for your own little dessert all on its own. So, and all you have to do with this is bagging or saran wrap, and then just cut a little hole in the end. So this is a really fun, healthy dessert.
And this recipe does make quite a bit. I mean, even with this 10-inch dish, I mean, it's still the deep dish. It's still got a lot left, so you can make even a smaller one, or you can make the little individual ones if you wanted to.
Great.
With some of this.
So always have those extra pie crust.
Yep, absolutely.
And the recipe on the website will have a homemade pie crust that you could make. This is a lot easier, one more step to make. So then our next step from here, after we've put it in the oven. You said for 350? At
350 for an hour and 10 minutes.
Is we have our cheesecake all ready to go, and then we can add our fun garnish with it. So tell us a little bit more about our garnish that we're going to make today.
So it's really simple. Dark chocolate, I think, pretty easy to agree, is the healthier chocolate, right?
Higher in antioxidants, yeah.
So we're going to take just some dark chocolate morsels, and we're going to add a little bit of coconut oil, and we're going to throw it in the microwave, maybe like a cup or a half cup of just a spoonful of coconut oil, and then throw it in the microwave for like maybe 30-45 seconds, just enough to where it's all nice and warm, and then you're going to stir it all together, and it'll make like a nice chocolate syrup that you can just drizzle over the top.
Nice.
So
Great.
we're going to go ahead and get that prepared, and then hop right back to it.
Okay. Now we are back with our healthy garnish. So,
first off, once you get it out of the microwave, be very careful because you don't want to burn your hands. And then you literally just, make sure it's all nice and melted. Then you're just going to take it, get it to where it's drizzling off your spoon, and then you're just going to drizzle it over.
And I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. So the higher the cocoa percentage, the better in the chocolate. And then our coconut oil, even though it is a saturated fat, it's a stearic fat. It's a healthier fatty acid. So it's pretty good for your heart health as well. So then my favorite garnish are our little strawberry roses. So this can be served alone. You can make a bouquet of strawberries for your little one or for your loved one, and or you can have them on the side or both for the garnish here. So we're just going to take a strawberry, have it rinsed, and then you're going to use a small paring knife, and here we're going to thinly slice the bottom leaf down. So you just sort of imagine you're making the petals of a rose. You're going to pull them down as you slice, and then with the next layer, you'll come up and do another layer there, all the way around. So you're going in between. And the real trick here is to pull them out. So after you have your petals, you can just gently hold it on the end and gently pull them towards you. So it looks like petals of a rose. You can also use any kind of assorted fruit, right, on this. And we have some fresh raspberries as well with our low-fat cheesecake filling in them. And then voila, you are ready to go. So, great. Thank you so much for being with us today, Stephen. And on behalf of Cherokee Kitchen, Cherokee Choices, myself, Robin Callahan, and Stephen and the EBCI Communications team, we appreciate you joining us. And if you have any questions, any feedback, any recipe requests, please let us know. So, we thank you for making Cherokee a healthier place to live, work, and play. Shki.